Well, it is the 7th week of LCS. I'm joined right now by Inero, with coverage brought to you by Alienware, and free product placement by Madrinas because Golden Guardians has given me two of these. I really like them.
I love Madrinas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Congrats on the sponsor. Anyway, so how are things going on Golden Guardians? I think the last time I interviewed you, you guys were 0-4.
Yes, we were 0-4, and now we're not. We're doing much better.
And things seem to be picking up. At the time, were you worried at all?
I mean, like I said in the interview, I knew scrims were still going well. Our practice was going well. This wasn't translating to stage, and we kind of knew we had to change it up.
Yeah.
So, like, in the interview, I'm not worried. I'm just kind of, like, angry at what we've done as staff that kind of, like, didn't prepare it correctly. And I'm pissed.
Yeah.
But it's better. We went from 0-4 at the start. We're 6-4 now in the past weeks since then. So.
Yes. You guys, all your players do the same thing. Whenever you cite your record, you always ignore the 0-4 in the beginning.
The 0-4 didn't happen. The season wasn't started yet. That was the exhibition games preseason. We're the NFL now.
I don't know if the commissioner, Chris Greeley, would agree.
Nah, he would. Nah, me and Greeley are cool.
So what rank are you guys right now then?
What rank are we?
Well, I mean, what's your standing? If you are 6-4, where does that put you in the standings? Because I think most people would count the 0-4 and say you're tied for fourth, but you must be higher if those ones don't count.
We're basically fourth, I guess, because other teams have basically had their 0-4 weeks as well.
Okay.
So whatever.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
Okay. So what transpired? What changed to lift Golden Guardians up into the middle of the pack?
I mean, we started playing stuff that was going to be easier to execute, and we started playing more of that in practice. It's a really easy way to get wins. I brought this up a few times too. Like if you need wins, that's the easiest way to force it, and to just guarantee it now while you practice the stuff that's harder in practice instead of bringing it on stage. And that's like one of the bigger changes. That's like simple for everyone to understand. There's like stuff behind the scenes too, mainly working how everyone interacts with each other on the team, how we communicate with each other, and improving on that. But the comps we're playing is definitely one of the easier ones for fans to see, for sure.
Does that, when you say we're working on the way people communicate with each other, that's usually code for people are supposed to stop raging and screaming and getting pissed.
Flaming in scrims, like, this guy's burning everything down.
Yes.
No, like it's actual like direct communication. Like when you say this, I don't understand what you mean, so I do something different. So when you say this, I know what this means now. I will try to respond to that correctly. Because everyone comes in and talks about different things, like differently. Like Kevin calls bushes weird names because TSM called them weird names. No one knows what the hell Kevin was saying at the start. Like, what does this mean? Like you're calling some random bush, or you're saying there's like different plays and stuff. Everyone has like very small things, and it's just getting everyone on the same page of like what the hell something means.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you about the Ole and Deftly relationship because I'm of the opinion that these are two very different people, especially after watching some of your content. Deftly usually looks very sullen and angry, and Ole looks like he's happy and having the best time of his entire life. And so I'm very curious if this goes into scrims and how that plays out on stage and behind the scenes.
I don't think Matt is sullen and angry. I think he is not a big content person. I don't think he enjoys that very much.
Okay.
But he's not like that. Like him
Well,
and
because-
Jusung joke around together all the time.
But then when I talk to Ole, he's also like, yeah, like, Deftly's mental will go booming, and I'll have to like try to tell him, hey, your mental is boom, don't boom your mental, or what? I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, he tilts in solo queue sometimes, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's totally fine.
So I just because
it's nothing bad
okay,
at all.
no, I'm not trying to say that like Deftly's a dick or anything. I'm just saying like it for a while. After a while, my perception started to become you've got Ole over there smiling and giving thumbs up the entire time, and Deftly's just like this guy.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all. I mean, Ole's obviously like more like happy all the time and just carefree and just hanging out. But no, Matt's fine. He's a competitor. Like, he's fine.
Froggen tweeted something this week like, "Oh, I love coming into scrims and seeing just a bunch of happy guys."
Yeah.
Pro players tend to be sarcastic, and so I'm very curious if you felt like that was not authentic.
He's shitposting for sure about something. I mean, all the players will randomly like someone made some tweet during the week and they were like, "Oh wow, that's a great content tweet," and then they all just started shitposting like something very similar. It's their brand, whatever.
Yeah.
They're just putting some dumb tweets out there for fun.
Their brand is just dumb tweets.
That is literally every popular player's brand almost. It's
Yes.
either, okay, you have shit talking, that's a good one, that guy's like really cocky, and I shit post and I'm funny.
Well, and I feel like that's becoming the Golden Guardians brand too, because you just put out these like really random meme videos.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Twitter
good,
at least.
right? It's good,
I'm
yeah.
not complaining. I'm just saying it's funny if like the players all have like their random stupid tweets, so that the Golden Guardians account has their random stupid tweets. It's just good shit.
Yeah, I mean, we just want our players to have fun. We want everything to feel more fun and loose so we can play like that too.
Is that because there have been times where teams in the LCS have been kind of thought of like the original Cloud9 was thought of this as like it's just a bunch of pals having a good time on the Rift.
Yeah. I mean, there is always like something to that. You don't want it to just be friends and like, oh, you can't talk about your problems because you don't want to like get anyone mad and we all just want to be happy. But there is like some benefits of feeling like it's more fun, feeling like it's not just a giant stress ball of a game all the time and that, oh man, if this goes wrong, like my life is over. There's a benefit to having things feel more fun, and when players are kind of being loose with each other and having a good time, like I really like that and I try to push that type of environment.
One of the things that I've noticed recently in a lot of the games where you guys lose is that you look really good in the beginning and
Yeah.
and even into the mid part of the game, and then at some point in time, a dramatic failure occurs, and then it just spirals out of control and you guys lose. Uh, is that a correct analysis, or am I misconstruing it?
I think what you're trying to say is our early game has been better than a lot of
It's
teams.
such a
and
boring way to
and
put
it
it.
slowly is not as good in another part of the game. Yes, that is definitely something that's been problematic for us. Like it's happened. It's shown in our games, but at least we have something we're consistently doing well at that we can build off of and try to fix. But like those later game problems, people treat it like, oh, like you should just know how to change that. Like why don't they just fix this? Like that's pretty hard. That's pretty hard for players just to change like some habit they have from doing it all day. Like they spend half of their day playing solo queue, where the way you win the game is like, aha, me go here, fight, me win. Like it's a lot harder for players to fix stuff than people think.
Where do you think the failure is in the late game? Is it on the team fight side? Is it the strategic decision making and knowing when to trade, an elder for a baron, or vice versa?
I think a lot of it is our setup to actually create windows to make plays ourselves. We have parts where we can force more, like especially around like our group on mid to like do something and enable our side lanes to come, and how we want to just actively use all five together to create an actual good vision setup and a good spot to force on the other team, like force them to come to us and do things and make mistakes, which like top teams are really good at doing. They're really consistent about doing this, and they're like, okay, you have to do something. We struggle at that point, and that's like on coaching staff to fix, and that's something that we have not done good enough to actually fix and iron out to make it consistent enough. Like I've harped on about how the top teams are just really consistent. They can always get these things, even if they're behind. They're consistently able to set this up and win, and we don't have that. We don't have that consistency yet, and that's like on the staff to fix. And yeah, we haven't done good enough at that, so can't really blame the players when it's on us to make sure that's good.
You were on the dive this past week, I think, right?
Yeah, I was.
All right. So, completely unbiased question. How, in what ways is the dive inferior to Hotline League now that you've been on both?
Oh no. Uh, I actually commented on Hotline League about the dive. Are you asking me to call out one show over the other?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, we know which one is superior. One of them has a sale, which is, yeah. And then there's the other one, which is like me and Mark having fun, people calling in, loose. We've got
Yeah.
better lighting.
Yeah, but one's invited me on recently and one hasn't.
I literally, you said, I want to come on and talk about nothing. And I immediately brought you on my show.
Yeah, but you didn't invite me as the guest.
You were on the guest, weren't you a guest earlier?
No, a long time ago. See, I was on Equifox and we're winning, and Travis is like, "Oh, I gotta have that." There's the clicks, click, click, click. And then I start off 0-4, and Travis is like, "Oh, I don't want that on Hotline League. No thanks. We'll do an interview right now." Like, why are you losing, Nick?
To be clear, there's never a point in time where I ever think I'm going to bring a coach onto something to get the clicks. Like, that is not, the clicks come from a couple people, namely Peter. So I don't want you to.
Not me. No one's going like, I need to see the Inero interview fast.
I mean, I was watching the dive. It was streaming on Twitch, and people just kept saying, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, exactly. Who am I? I don't know who I am.
But you've called in repeatedly. Anytime you want to call in, we let you on the show. You literally said, "I don't want to talk." I want to just ship post to Demonte, and you were able to come on. The dive will never offer you that.
They won't?
The dive will never let you show up in their Twitch chat and say, "Bring me on the show right now," and then you're on.
I mean, I could just show up. Maybe they'd allow it. I have a badge.
I don't think so.
I can walk in.
Yeah.
I can just show up. Hey guys, I'm
Okay,
ready.
do it, and then
Okay.
prove it to me that you can do that.
All right, I'll try it. I'll see what happens.
All right. But we still haven't gotten to the point where hot landing is better than the dive.
It's good. It's really good.
Anything you want to say to the Golden Guardians fans?
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate all the support. For the guys that stuck through the 04, there's a lot of you that have always been positive. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. All the players love it too. So thanks, guys.
How do I get a bunch of free Madrinas?
You can come
Can
to
I
our
just-
room if you want
Okay.
and nab some.
Okay.
Or Rachel is over there.
Yeah, I can't go backstage, so. But she only brings me
you
one at a
banned?
time.
Are you banned from
No,
backstage?
no, media are not allowed to just wander the area backstage.
Damn, that sucks.
I know. Everybody's always like, meet me in the lounge. And I'm like, I can't go in there.
Damn.
And everyone thinks it's outrageous, and I think it's outrageous. Riot Games, hashtag free Travis.
Does it make you feel uncomfortable that I can just walk up to the media booth and just hang out anytime?
That's because I allow it.
Oh, you allow it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Understood.
You can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that interview. Don't click away because I want to tell you about Alienware, our sponsor. Thank you so much to Alienware for sponsoring everything we do this year. If you haven't noticed, the majority, there's a couple that slipped by yesterday, but the majority of my interviews so far, the split, have been in 4K. That's something we've never been able to do before, and we did it literally because Alienware was able to give us a beast-ass laptop notebook to edit this 4K footage on while we're at the LCS. My editor uses it. That's why this is in 4K. It's super hype. So anyway, that just allows you guys to see the crisp, I don't know, pour-like resolution on the pro players. That's really what you want. I think I don't know anymore. I got to go interview Hanser, so I'll catch you later.